So yesterday was 9/11, and in North Carolina, the Republican state legislature passed this like awful budget that slashed public services, cut teacher pay, it was just terrible. And the Democratic governor of North Carolina vetoed it. Now, yesterday was 9/11, and the Republicans basically indicated to Democrats that while there was this 9/11 vigil going on, they wouldn't hold any votes. And the Democrats were like, oh, okay, so if they're not gonna do any votes, we'll go to the vigil and it'll be fine. The Democrats go to the vigil, a lot of the Republicans skip the vigil, they go to the state house and actually call a vote on it to override the governor's veto of the budget. It passed something like 56-9, while 59 Democrats weren't present. So
it's amazing.
It's just, they play dirty, and the Democrats always fall for it. Like every single time, they think that they're like, true honorable patriots and all this stuff, and that they really believe all this stuff about, loving your country and public service, and it's all just cynical stupidness.
So,
I was gonna say a different word.
But. Yeah, like things like that are happening when there were so many complaints about Sarah Huckabee Sanders not being able to eat dinner at a private restaurant. Right. So many complaints about a lack of civility when someone made fun of her eyeshadow.
Yeah.
So many complaints, but skipping a 9/11 vigil to lie to your colleagues and defeat them secretly, that is civil.
Yeah. I mean, and they know that it's not civil.
Yeah,
but
they don't care.
Yeah,
they don't care. They're interested in power
as props. Like they use troops as props.
Yes.
They use small businesses as props. Like these are things and people that they don't actually care about. They just use them as props to get Democrats to bend to their will. And when I teach journalism classes, one of my favorite classes is reporting public affairs. And so one of the exercises I have them do is watch a recent press conference some politician has done. And then I ask them questions like, how would you cover this? How do you start by covering it? And they go to the usual who, what, where, when, and I'm like, no, scrap all that, right? You fact check everything that they say. You have to assume every single thing that this public figure is saying is a lie. Because public figures have certain protections when it comes to doing press conferences or acting in their official capacity. They're able to lie without worry of certain lawsuits or certain legal consequences. So since they have those protections, of course they're gonna go up there, do the press conferences and lie. Democrats need to treat Republicans the same way. They're lying to you. They're not your friends. They're not interested in civility. They want to get what they want done. And they've succeeded everywhere when it comes to local races, when it comes to redrawing districts, when it comes to stacking the courts in their favor. They get what they want because they fight for it and they're not afraid to play dirty.
Yeah, and that's something that you brought up, like all of the people who still were supporting like Susan Collins and things like that. We are asking, not we, but a lot of people are expecting their friends to get mad at Thanksgiving dinner at their old racist grandma. But you have your politicians who you put in there saying, oh, but she's my friend.
Totally.
I get it, he's my friend. I respect him, he did this
Dianne
and this
Feinstein
and that, but he's
doesn't want Susan Collins to lose her reelection. Like Dianne Feinstein, a Democrat, she doesn't want a Republican to lose her election because she likes her personally.
And some things are not about politics. You should not be, you should be disgusted by people who do and support certain things. If that is not of you, you should be disgusted by it.
I totally agree.
And other people don't have the privilege to be like, oh, well, I get it. Yes, kids, cages, this, yes, this, it's fine. You wear cool shirts. Like, so people, it's just, I wish that people were forced to be mad at people who did horrible things.
Yeah, and I think here's the good part of what's happening in the country right now on the Democratic side. I think a lot of voters, especially younger voters, are waking up to the fact that just because the representative in your district has a D in his or her description, doesn't mean that they're actually on the left. Like Dianne Feinstein, I mean, look at her behavior throughout her entire political career. I mean, the sweetheart real estate deals for her husband, the very right-wing stances she's taken on various issues, much to the detriment of people living in California and people in the rest of the country. Dianne Feinstein is no Democrat. I mean, not in the way that we've traditionally thought of people on the left.
Right.
And so we need to primary people like her. And unfortunately, we did this last time around with Allison Hartson, a wonderful candidate. And there was a media blackout on her campaign. But we got to get
people
active.
Is hard. Priming people is the hardest thing to do. It's really, really difficult. All the cards are stacked against you. All the power structures are stacked against you. But there's no other alternative but to try.
Thanks for watching this free clip of the Young Turks. Don't forget to become a TYT member today. For more exclusive content, join now at tyt.com/join.